Tapping in.
Are we live?
Yeah. Had to get the vibe right. You know what I'm saying? Had to get the beats going. And had to, of course, get the positivity in too. Because it's a lot going on in the world. We're gonna get to all of that for sure. But first, continuing, our celebration of Women's Month, we got to do a little bit of celebrating Miss Angela Davis. Uh, you know what I'm
You
saying?
see, I messed up pre-production, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly what just happened, yo. I messed up pre-production, but here we still rocking.
We rocking. Yo, check this out, man. Miss Angela Davis is a political activist. She is an academic. She is an abolitionist. She is an author. She is a Black Panther. She is a symbol of resistance.
Yeah.
There's a few people that have really shaped my perspective on race and class and Blackness in the United States. And along with Dr. Cornel West, Angela Davis is right at the forefront of that for me. So she looms super large in terms of like my academic aspirations, the ideas I hope to wrap my mind around. And as an educator and as a leader, I'm just in awe of this person. So I just wanted to celebrate her for Women's Month. Yeah, man.
Celebrating Angela Davis, and when you see the monumental task that these women picked up at the time of their struggles, Angela Davis within the 60s and 70s being an advocate for taking up the prison issues that were happening in the US at the time, which is the burst of the prison industrial complex and things like Amendment 13, and really looking at those issues in detail and fighting against the police as a young Black woman being arrested multiple times. She speaks about the abuse that she suffered at the hands of police. It's still being unspoken. Just giving it, as it is, and being a symbol of power, man. It's definitely one of those inspirational figures when it comes to standing up for something, and despite whatever the repercussions of it will be.
Big facts. This is a bad system, man. Angela Davis has done some incredible things, right? She's what I think this shot right here, shout out to the YouTube audience and shout out to my brother for being on the ones and twos with the visuals, man, always bringing something extra to the show. But we've got this famous orange turtleneck Angela Davis, huge afro, right, with the intensity of this stare. This was actually I believe this was lost for a long time. It was actually from the Black Power mixtape, which is a documentary that was released in 2011 about kind of the movement between 1967 and 1975 in the States. And it's an incredible documentary. But this interview with Angela Davis is just, it gives me chills. So I'm sure you can find it on YouTube. Go check that out, or check out the whole documentary. But essentially, one of the most famous incidents that kind of surrounds her legend is that she was actually charged with 3 counts of murder when firearms that were registered in her name were used to take over Marion County Courthouse. And actually 4 people were left dead, right? So as a outspoken professor whose name is now swirling in this mess, she's immediately charged. 2 weeks after the shootout, J. Edgar Hoover placed Angela Davis on the FBI's 10 most wanted list, making her the 3rd woman ever to be included on the list, right? So she pulls up to the courthouse on January 5th, 1971 to declare her innocence, right? And a lot of people, she's credited for representing herself. She actually had a team of 4 lawyers, but there was decided even amongst this team of lawyers that she herself, who, because she was granted the right of representation, of self-representation as co-counsel on the team, should make the opening statement for her defense. And so that part of her legend, defending herself successfully, being released, on the merit of her defense, but also on the merit of a movement to free her that formed kind of outside and based on her contributions to the larger movement. But she kind of was transformed by that into this symbol of resistance that we know her as today.
My brother Miles coming through with the history of it. Thank you for sharing that history. It, as people that try and be active within the community, it really does show you that like there was a time where what you stood the most important thing to stand for was the same thing that could get you killed, was the same thing that was going to get you arrested, the same thing that was going to get you brutally beat up. The most important thing that everyone agrees, like, yo, we got to free ourselves. We got to get ourselves out of this situation. We need equal rights. And having that be the main thing that can get you killed, bro, it just puts into perspective a lot how far we've come, but also at the same time how much further we need to go. And that all of us need to be able to realize that the most important thing right now is for us to look at the kids that are coming up and see that they're are coming up in situation. That is the hope, and the situations that they're coming into are not conducive for them to be able to be the full version of that hope. So how do we reach those kids and make sure that they reach the full version of themselves?
Mm, mm. I just want to let that breathe for a second, because that's real, man. I mean, I couldn't have put it any better myself. I think Miss Davis would agree with you. Uh, what I will say is I'll put that next to her words, and as we move to kind of wrap up this segment. But she even said, right, that for a long time she felt intimidated. She says, I felt there was no way that I, as an individual, could actually live up to the expectations incorporated into that image. There came a point when I realized I didn't have to. The image does not reflect who I am as an individual; it reflects the work of the movement. And even though I still lift up Angela Davis as like, yo, she's the bomb. Uh, I get what she's saying, man. A lot of why she's so great is because she was a part of this time where we just refuse to be defeated. Um, so Women, Race, and Class is one of my favorite books by her. I encourage folks to go and read that. Her most recent book is called Abolition Feminism Now, that was released this year. Another one that I'm have on my reading list is Abolition Democracy from 2005. Um, yeah, man, go do some reading. Go do some documentary watching. Uh, yeah, happy Women's Month.
Happy Women's Month.